Imagine stumbling upon a castle frozen in time, its halls echoing with forgotten whispers. Some were abandoned by war, others by fate, and a few by something far more sinister. From haunted ruins to ghost towns of luxury, these 7 mysterious castles hold secrets the world has long forgotten. Ready to uncover their eerie past? Let's begin. Pidhirtsi Castle, Ukraine. Imagine walking through a grand palace once filled with laughter, lavish feasts, and the finest European art. Now, all that remains is silence, an eerie, unsettling stillness. This is Pidhirtsi Castle, a forgotten masterpiece in the heart of Ukraine, where history whispers through its decaying walls. Built in the 17th century, this magnificent Renaissance palace was once the pride of Polish nobility. With its vast ballrooms, intricate frescoes, and breathtaking gardens, it stood as a symbol of wealth and power. But time was not kind. Wars, looting, and fires slowly drained its splendor, turning it into a ghostly ruin. And then, the legends began. Visitors claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the corridors. Some hear the distant echo of music, as if an invisible orchestra still plays for guests who have long since vanished. But the most chilling tale is that of the Lady in White, believed to be the spirit of a noblewoman betrayed and buried alive within the castle walls. Locals say she still wanders the halls searching for justice. Though abandoned, Pidhirtsi Castle refuses to be forgotten. It stands as a haunting reminder of a lost era, a place where beauty and darkness intertwine. Would you dare to visit? Hamilton Palace, Scotland. Deep in the Scottish countryside, hidden behind overgrown trees and rusting gates, lies Hamilton Palace, a mansion that was once destined to rival Buckingham Palace itself. But today, it stands as a ghostly relic, a forgotten dream swallowed by time. This massive estate was the grand ambition of the Dukes of Hamilton, Scotland's most powerful aristocrats. Built in the 17th century, it was an architectural marvel, adorned with priceless artwork, grand staircases, and endless rooms dripping in gold. It was a palace fit for royalty, a home that could have been Scotland's most breathtaking landmark. But fortune can be fickle. As generations passed, the Hamilton family fell into financial ruin, their vast wealth crumbling under the weight of debts. By the 1920s, the palace was stripped of its treasures, its walls left bare. Piece by piece, it was dismantled and sold, its grand interiors scattered across the world. What remained? Nothing but a hollow shell, an abandoned titan, haunted by lost riches and broken dreams. Today, few even know this forgotten palace exists. Guarded by fences and whispers of unexplained shadows, it remains a forbidden ruin, a place where Scotland's past lingers, waiting to tell its tragic tale. Would you dare step inside? Ballycarbery Castle, Ireland. Perched on a lonely hill in County Kerry, Ireland, overlooking the wild Atlantic waves, stands Ballycarbery Castle, a ruin that looks like it was torn straight from the pages of a forgotten legend. The once mighty fortress, now covered in creeping ivy and time-worn stone, whispers of battles, betrayal, and a legacy that refuses to fade. Built in the 16th century, Ballycarbery was home to the powerful McCarthy Moore clan, who ruled the land with an iron fist. Its towering walls and commanding location made it a fortress of strength, a symbol of dominance in the untamed Irish landscape. But power comes at a cost. In the mid-1600s, during the brutal Cromwellian Wars, English forces besieged the castle, bombarding it with heavy cannon fire. Stone by stone, its defenses crumbled, and what was once an unbreakable stronghold became a shattered relic. The McCarthys were forced to flee, and the castle was left to the mercy of time. But here's the eerie part. Locals say the castle isn't truly empty. Many claim to see flickering lights inside the ruins at night, as if ghostly torches are still burning. Some even whisper about phantom soldiers, trapped in an endless battle, their footsteps echoing through the crumbling halls. Despite centuries of destruction, Ballycarbery Castle refuses to disappear. It stands defiantly against the elements, a haunting reminder of Ireland's fierce past. Would you dare explore its ruins and uncover the spirits that still linger? Bodiam Castle, England. Picture this, a castle straight out of a fairy tale, surrounded by a shimmering moat, its towering walls reflecting in the still waters like a ghost of the past. This is Bodiam Castle, one of England's most enchanting and mysterious ruins. Built in 1385 by Sir Edward Dallingrig, a former knight, Bodiam was designed as the ultimate fortress, a shield against invasion during the 100 Years' War. With its high stone towers, hidden passageways, and deep defensive moat, it was a place of both beauty and brutality. But strangely, no one really knows if it ever saw battle. Despite its military design, Bodiam fell not to war, but to time. It passed through noble families, each leaving their mark until the castle was eventually abandoned. By the 17th century it was little more than a hollow shell, a ghost of its former self, but some believe something still lingers within its walls. Visitors often report feeling an eerie presence, as if unseen eyes are watching from the empty windows. Others speak of distant whispers floating through the ruined halls. And then there's the Phantom Knight, said to roam the castle grounds at dusk, forever guarding a kingdom that no longer exists. Today Bodiam Castle stands as a majestic ruin, an icon of England's medieval past. But is it merely a relic, or does something ancient still live within its walls? Would you dare to step across its legendary moat and find out for yourself? Castle of Cottages, Slovakia. High above the rolling hills of Slovakia, the Castle of Cottages stands in eerie silence, its broken walls whispering of horrors long buried in time. This isn't just an abandoned ruin, it's the former lair of one of history's most terrifying figures, Elizabeth Bathory, the Blood Countess. Built in the 13th century, the castle was meant to be a mighty fortress, guarding the land against invaders. But in the late 1500s, it became the private domain of Countess Bathory, a noblewoman whose name would forever be drenched in dark legend. According to chilling stories, she kidnapped and tortured hundreds of young girls, believing their blood held the secret to eternal youth. Some say she bathed in their blood, others claim she drained their bodies in secret chambers beneath the castle. The truth? No one knows for sure. But when authorities finally stormed Cactus, what they found was too horrifying to ignore. Bathory was sentenced to life imprisonment, locked away in her own castle without food or light. She died within its walls, her soul never finding peace. Even now, locals say her ghost still lingers, wandering the ruins under the pale moonlight. Visitors report hearing distant screams, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an unshakable sense of dread. The Castle of Cottages is more than just an abandoned fortress. It's a place where history and nightmare collide, where the echoes of the past still haunt the present. Would you dare walk its ruins, knowing the horrors that once took place within its walls? Lapalice Castle, Poland. Deep in the Polish countryside, hidden among dense forests, stands Lapalice Castle, a fairy tale dream turned eerie, unfinished nightmare. It's a place that looks like it should be centuries old, steeped in medieval history. But here's the twist: it was never even completed. In the 1980s, a wealthy artist had an ambitious vision, a castle with 365 windows, 52 rooms, and 12 towers, symbolizing the days, weeks, and months of a year. It was meant to be his personal retreat, an architectural masterpiece unlike anything else in Poland. But dreams, no matter how grand, don't always come true. Construction started, and the castle's skeleton rose from the ground, its towers piercing the sky like something out of a fantasy novel. But suddenly, everything stopped. Financial troubles, legal battles, and a lack of permits doomed the project before it could be finished. What was meant to be a majestic home became a hollow, lifeless shell, a castle without a king. But the unfinished walls hide something else. Explorers who enter speak of unsettling noises, strange whispers, footsteps in empty halls, even a ghostly presence watching from the highest towers. Some say the castle has taken on a life of its own, feeding off the energy of those who dare to step inside. Today, Lapalice Castle stands frozen in time, a place that was never truly alive, yet refuses to die. Would you dare to wander its abandoned corridors knowing that something or someone might be watching? Burj Al Babas, Turkey. Imagine a place where hundreds of identical castles stand side by side, ornate turrets, grand balconies, and elegant facades, stretching as far as the eye can see. But there's no life here. No royalty, no voices. Just an eerie, lifeless silence. This is Burj Al Babas, Turkey's most haunting and mysterious ghost town. It was supposed to be a luxury paradise, a multi-billion-dollar project designed to bring the charm of European castles to modern buyers. Developers planned for 732 fairytale mansions, complete with shopping centers, spas, and artificial lakes. It was an architectural fantasy, a dream that seemed unstoppable, until everything collapsed. Financial troubles, lawsuits, and an economic crisis halted construction midway, leaving an entire city of castles abandoned and unfinished. What should have been a glamorous retreat became a graveyard of luxury, where half-built homes stand frozen in time, their empty windows staring into nothingness. But here's the creepiest part. Many visitors claim they feel watched as they walk through the deserted streets. Some say they hear faint whispers carried by the wind, as if the ghosts of lost dreams still linger in the air. Others believe this eerie town is cursed, doomed to remain unfinished forever. Burj Al Babas is a bizarre, haunting spectacle, a place meant for the wealthy, now claimed by the unknown. Would you dare wander its ghostly streets knowing no one was ever meant to live here? History leaves behind mysteries, and these castles are proof that some stories never truly end. Which one gave you chills the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love exploring abandoned wonders and architectural mysteries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to DwellScape. Until next time, keep exploring, because every building has a story to tell. Imagine stepping into a world where houses aren't just homes. They're straight out of a fairy tale. Twisted rooftops, glowing stained glass, Hobbit-like burrows, and even a house built between two massive boulders. These places don't just break the rules of architecture, they transport you to a fantasy realm. Today, we're exploring 7 of the quirkiest, most magical houses that look like they belong in a storybook. Which one would you live in? Let's dive into the world of real-life fairy tales. The Spadina House, Beverly Hills, California. Picture this. You're strolling through the luxurious streets of Beverly Hills, surrounded by sleek modern mansions, when suddenly you stumble upon something straight out of a Grimm's fairy tale. A house with twisted slanted rooftops, crooked windows, and a weathered storybook charm. Meet the Spadina House, or as locals call it, the Witch's House. Built in 1921 by Hollywood art director Harry Oliver, this quirky home wasn't just a random build. It was originally a film studio office before it was relocated to its current spot. And let's be honest, it looks like a witch could walk out at any moment, cackling as she stirs a bubbling cauldron inside. The house's asymmetrical design, exaggerated peaks, and dark timber framing give it a deliberately spooky, whimsical feel. Over the years, ivy has crept up its walls, the wooden shutters look like they've seen centuries of secrets, and the front door? It's like stepping into a Hansel and Gretel nightmare minus the candy but full of eerie charm. Even Hollywood has taken notice. This house has made cameos in films and TV shows, reinforcing its reputation as the most magical yet haunting house in Los Angeles. Would you dare knock on its door, or would you half expect it to creak open on its own? The Hobbiton Homes, Matamata, New Zealand. Imagine waking up, stepping outside, and being greeted by rolling green hills, colorful round doors, and the smell of fresh earth in the air. No, this isn't a dream, it's Hobbiton, a place where fantasy becomes reality. Nestled in Matamata, New Zealand, these charming, grass-roofed homes look like they were plucked straight from the pages of J.R.R. Tolkien's books. Because, well, they kind of were. Originally built as a temporary set for The Lord of the Rings, Hobbiton was too magical to destroy, so, instead of tearing it down, it was transformed into a real walkable village, complete with tiny curved wooden doors, rustic chimneys, and winding stone pathways. It's as if Bilbo Baggins himself might invite you in for a second breakfast. Every detail is designed to make you feel like you're in Middle-earth. The lantern-lit gardens, moss-covered fences, and barrels stacked outside the Green Dragon Inn all add to the immersive magic. Whether you're a hardcore Tolkien fan or just love fairy-tale-like villages, Hobbiton is an actual, real-world escape into a storybook fantasy. Would you prefer a quiet life in one of these cozy burrows, sipping tea and reading by candlelight? Or would you set off on an epic adventure? Because in Hobbiton, both are possible. Anne Hathaway's Cottage, Warwickshire, England. Step into a scene straight out of a Shakespearean love story, a thatched roof cottage, wrapped in blooming roses, surrounded by rolling green fields and whispering oak trees. This isn't just any cottage. This is Anne Hathaway's cottage, the childhood home of Shakespeare's wife and the ultimate fairy tale retreat. Located in Warwickshire, England, this 12-room, half-timbered farmhouse is over 500 years old, yet it still stands as a living piece of history. The weathered wooden beams, leaded glass windows, and charmingly uneven brickwork give it an almost storybook-like perfection. It's the kind of place where you'd expect to see a wandering bard strumming a lute or a horse-drawn carriage waiting by the gate. Inside, the floors creak with centuries of secrets and every corner holds echoes of the past. perhaps even whispers of Shakespeare's love letters. The gardens are just as dreamy, with winding stone paths, fragrant lavender and towering trees that seem to hum with poetry. Whether you're a hopeless romantic, a history buff, or just someone who dreams of escaping to an English countryside fantasy, Anne Hathaway's cottage is as close to a real-life fairy tale as it gets. If you could step through its doors, would you stay for a day or forever? The Crazy House, Da Lat, Vietnam. Imagine stepping into a house that defies logic, bends reality, and feels like it was sculpted by a dream. Welcome to the Crazy House in Da Lat, Vietnam, a place where architecture meets pure imagination. Officially named Hang Nha Guest House, this isn't just a home, it's an otherworldly maze of twisting staircases, cave-like hallways, and tree-like structures that make you feel like you've wandered into a psychedelic fairy tale. Designed by architect Dang Viet Nha, this surreal masterpiece was built with the idea of blurring the lines between nature and structure. The walls aren't straight, the windows come in bizarre organic shapes, and instead of doors leading to normal rooms, they guide you through a labyrinth of hidden nooks, sky bridges, and spiral tunnels. Every corner feels like a portal to a different world. One moment, you're inside a giant spider's web. The next, you're walking through a tree trunk with giant mushrooms growing out of the walls. It's like Alice in Wonderland meets Salvador Dali, with a hint of a haunted fairy tale thrown in for good measure. Would you dare spend a night here? Or would you worry that, by morning, the walls might have shifted into something entirely new? The Stone House, Faith, Portugal. Ever dreamed of living in a house straight out of the Flintstones? Well, in the rolling hills of Faith, Portugal, there exists a real-life prehistoric fantasy. A house literally carved between two giant boulders. Meet the Stone House. A structure so rugged and surreal that it blends seamlessly with nature, making it look like it was sculpted by the earth itself. Built in 1974 as a countryside retreat, this bizarre home is both primitive and futuristic, with thick stone walls that could probably withstand the apocalypse. No concrete, no bricks, just two massive rocks holding up a cozy, Hobbit-like dwelling. From the outside, it appears as if it's been sitting there for thousands of years, untouched by time. But don't let the exterior fool you. Inside, you'll find a snug, rustic interior with wooden furnishings, a fireplace, and even bulletproof windows. That's right, over the years the house became a bit of a tourist attraction, prompting its owners to fortify it against unwanted visitors. Is it a house? A sculpture? A piece of ancient history? Maybe all three. But one thing's for sure. If fairy tale giants needed a vacation home, this would be it. Would you spend a night here, surrounded by nothing but the wind, the hills, and the stars? The Nautilus House, Mexico City, Mexico. Imagine waking up inside a seashell where the walls swirl around you like ocean waves and sunlight streams through a stained glass mosaic, painting the room in a kaleidoscope of colors. Welcome to the Nautilus House, a home that looks and feels like it was built for an underwater fairy tale. Designed by architect Javier Senocien, this nature-inspired masterpiece is more than just a house. It's a living, breathing piece of art. With curved walls, spiral hallways, and organic shapes, it throws the entire idea of traditional architecture out the window. There are no sharp edges, no flat surfaces, just smooth, flowing lines that make you feel like you're walking through a dream. The entrance, a gigantic, shell-shaped doorway. The floors, a soft, grassy carpet that blends seamlessly with the lush indoor gardens. And the windows, vibrant stained glass panels that transform sunlight into a rainbow spectacle. Everything about this place feels alive, playful, and surreal, like stepping into a Dr. Seuss book or a mermaid's hidden sanctuary. Would you trade a regular home for this organic wonderland, where every day feels like a fantasy beneath the waves? The Fairytale Cottage, Woodstock, New York. Tucked away in the enchanted forests of Woodstock, New York, there's a cottage so whimsical, so utterly magical, that it looks like it escaped from the pages of a fantasy novel. With curved rooftops, arched wooden doors, and ivy-draped stone walls, this fairytale cottage isn't just a house, it's a portal to another world. Step inside, and you'll feel like you've wandered into a forgotten fairy tale. The warm glow of lanterns flickers against hand-carved wooden beams, while a spiral staircase winds up to a cozy loft. The windows, rounded and rustic, as if waiting for a tiny woodland creature to peek through. Every inch of this home is crafted with old-world charm, blending medieval fantasy and fairy tale aesthetics into a masterpiece of architecture. Outside, the cottage is surrounded by towering trees, moss-covered pathways, and a gentle stream that babbles like a whispering spell. On misty mornings, the landscape feels otherworldly, as if elves or wandering knights might appear at any moment. This isn't just a house, it's a storybook brought to life. A place where the ordinary fades away and magic lingers in the air. The only question is, if you stumbled upon it deep in the woods, would you dare knock on the door? And that wraps up our journey through these real-life fairy tale homes. Which one was your favorite? Would you live in a cozy hobbit hole or a whimsical woodland cottage? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing architectural wonders. This is DwellScape, bringing you the most unique homes from around the world. See you in the next video. Imagine walking through a city where every building tells a story, every street feels like a work of art, and every skyline is a photographer's dream. Whether it's the timeless elegance of Florence, the futuristic wonders of Dubai, or the colorful charm of San Miguel de Allende, some cities are simply built to be admired. If you're an architecture lover with a passion for stunning cityscapes, get ready. Because today, we're exploring 8 of the most photogenic cities in the world that will leave you absolutely speechless. Let's dive in. Florence, Italy. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into a painting. Every street, every building, every corner in Florence feels like it was crafted by the hands of a master artist. This is the birthplace of the Renaissance, a city where architecture isn't just beautiful, it tells a story. The Duomo di Firenze, with its mind-blowing red-tiled dome designed by Filippo Brunelleschi, dominates the skyline, looking as stunning today as it did in the 1400s. And the moment you stand beneath it, pure magic. But wait, there's more. Ponte Vecchio, the medieval bridge crossing the Arno River, is lined with tiny shops that once belonged to blacksmiths and butchers, but now sell sparkling jewelry. It's one of those places where history lingers in the air. Then there's the Palazzo Pitti, once home to the powerful Medici family, now a stunning museum showcasing everything from Renaissance paintings to royal treasures. Want an Instagram-worthy shot? Head up to Piazzale Michelangelo for an aerial view of Florence at sunset. It's the kind of scene that looks too perfect to be real. Every brick, every column, every sculpture in this city whispers stories of art, history, and innovation. If you love architecture, Florence isn't just a city, it's an experience. Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona isn't just a city, it's a work of art with a heartbeat. The architecture here doesn't just stand still, it moves, breathes, and makes you feel like you've stepped into a dream. And no one shaped this dream more than the legendary Antoni Gaudi. His masterpiece, the Sagrada Familia, a basilica so intricate, so massive that it's still under construction, 140 years later. But unfinished or not, its towering spires, swirling facades, and stained glass windows create a kaleidoscope of colors inside, making it feel like a portal to another world. But Gaudi wasn't done. He designed Park Güell, a place where reality bends. Colorful mosaic dragons, twisted columns, and fairy tale houses sit atop a hill with a breathtaking view of the city. Walking through it feels like stepping into a surrealist painting. Then, there's the Gothic Quarter, a completely different vibe. Think dark alleyways, towering cathedrals, and hidden plazas that feel like they hold secrets from the past. Barcelona is the definition of photogenic. Every street, every building, every shadow plays a part in its architectural symphony. Whether you're capturing the magic of Casa Batlló's shimmering facade or losing yourself in the labyrinth of medieval streets, this city isn't just beautiful, it's unforgettable. Prague, Czech Republic. Step into Prague and it feels like you've entered a real-life fairy tale, but with a hint of mystery. This city is a time capsule of Gothic spires, Baroque palaces, and medieval charm, all perfectly preserved like a history book made of stone. The moment you set foot on the Charles Bridge with its eerie, centuries-old statues watching over you, you'll feel the magic. Fog rolling in over the Vltava River, that's just Prague setting the scene for your most cinematic photos ever. But let's talk about Prague Castle, the largest ancient castle in the world. It's not just a castle, it's a city within a city, packed with royal halls, hidden gardens, and the jaw-dropping St. Vitus Cathedral, where sunlight filters through intricate stained glass, painting the stone floors in dazzling colors. And then there's Old Town Square, home to the astronomical clock, which has been ticking away since 1410. Every hour, it puts on a little show with mechanical figures dancing to remind you that in Prague, time itself is a masterpiece. Want to capture something truly unique? Climb up to Letna Park and get a panoramic shot of the city's iconic red rooftops stretching as far as the eye can see. With its mysterious alleys, grand bridges, and stunning cathedrals, Prague is a photographer's paradise wrapped in centuries of legends and stories. Copenhagen, Denmark. Copenhagen is where fairytale nostalgia meets cutting-edge design, a city that blends the past and future so effortlessly, it's almost surreal. Walk along the Nyhavn harbor, and you'll be surrounded by brightly colored 17th-century townhouses reflecting off the canal's calm waters. It's postcard perfect, except it's real, and every time the sun hits just right, the whole place glows. But here's what makes Copenhagen truly unique: its ability to balance the old with the new. Take the Royal Danish Opera House, a sleek, ultra-modern masterpiece that stands boldly against the backdrop of historic buildings. Or the Black Diamond Library, a striking glass and steel structure that looks like it's floating over the water, proving that Danish architecture is as forward-thinking as it gets. For those who love a mix of history and charm, Rosenborg Castle is a must-see. Built in the early 1600s, it's home to Denmark's crown jewels, and surrounded by beautifully manicured gardens. But if you want something totally unexpected, visit Superkillen Park, a surreal, graffiti-filled public space that looks like it was designed by an artist from the future. Copenhagen is a city that invites exploration, whether you're biking past sleek modern buildings or strolling through streets that feel straight out of a Hans Christian Andersen story. If you love architecture, this city will steal your heart, one stunning building at a time. Tel Aviv, Israel. Tel Aviv is a city where the past and future collide in the most visually stunning way. It's not just about skyscrapers and beaches. This city is home to the world's largest collection of Bauhaus architecture, earning it the nickname the White City. Walking down Rothschild Boulevard, you'll see sleek, minimalist buildings with smooth white facades, rounded balconies, and geometric perfection, all designed in the 1930s by architects escaping Europe. The result? A cityscape that looks like a modernist dream. But Tel Aviv isn't just about Bauhaus. It's a playground for architecture lovers. The Azrieli Towers, shaped like a circle, square, and triangle, dominate the skyline, while the Pere Center for Peace looks like a futuristic ship made of glass and concrete. Then there's Jaffa, the ancient port district, where centuries-old stone buildings, narrow alleyways, and hidden courtyards create a stark contrast to the modern energy of the city. Want the best view? Head to Old Jaffa's clock tower and watch the sunset cast golden hues over the city's white facades, turning them into a photographer's paradise. Tel Aviv is a city that never stops evolving, a mix of heritage and innovation that makes every corner worth capturing. Dubai, UAE. If architecture had a fast-forward button, it would lead straight to Dubai. This city doesn't follow rules, it rewrites them. Home to the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, Dubai's skyline is a futuristic masterpiece. Standing at 828 meters, the Burj Khalifa is an engineering marvel that pierces the sky, and the view from the top? Simply breathtaking. But Dubai isn't just about height, it's about pushing the boundaries of imagination. Take the Burj Al Arab, shaped like a billowing sail and standing on its own man-made island, redefining luxury. Or the Cayenne Tower, which twists a full 90 degrees from base to top, proving that straight lines are overrated. Then there's the Museum of the Future, an architectural marvel that looks like a shimmering silver ring with Arabic calligraphy cut into it, symbolizing knowledge and progress. And let's not forget the Palm Jumeirah, an artificial island shaped like a palm tree, visible from space. This city doesn't just embrace innovation, it thrives on it. Whether you're capturing reflections of neon lights on the skyscrapers at night or the golden hues of the desert blending into modern glass towers, Dubai is the ultimate dream for architecture lovers and photographers alike. San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. San Miguel de Allende is a city that doesn't just look beautiful, it feels like a painting come to life. Every street bursts with color, from vibrant terracotta and mustard yellow facades, to bright bougainvillea cascading over centuries-old walls. But the real showstopper? La Parroquia de San Miguel Arcangel, a towering pink limestone church that looks like it was plucked straight out of a fairy tale. Its neo-Gothic spires reach toward the sky, glowing at sunset, making it one of the most photogenic landmarks in the world. The magic doesn't stop there. Wander through the historic center, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you'll find colonial mansions, cobblestone alleys, and picturesque courtyards with intricate iron balconies. The mix of Spanish Baroque and Mexican folk architecture creates a dreamlike atmosphere that's impossible to resist. And for the perfect shot, head to El Mirador, a viewpoint offering a breathtaking panoramic view of the city's rooftops and church domes bathed in golden light. Whether you're capturing the artisan markets, hidden courtyards, or the play of light on centuries-old buildings, San Miguel de Allende is a place where every moment is a masterpiece waiting to be framed. Dundee, Scotland. Dundee isn't just a city, it's a bold experiment in modern design, proving that architecture can be just as exciting as art. Once an industrial powerhouse, this Scottish city has transformed into an architectural hotspot, attracting designers and visionaries from around the world. The crown jewel? The V&A Dundee, a futuristic museum designed by Kengo Kuma, inspired by the rugged Scottish cliffs. Its twisting, wave-like exterior plays with light and shadow, making it an absolute dream for photographers. But Dundee's story isn't just about modernity. The city blends Victorian grandeur with cutting-edge design, from historic jute mills converted into creative hubs to waterfront regeneration projects that feel like stepping into the future. The McManus Art Gallery, with its Gothic spires and intricate stonework, offers a perfect contrast to the sleek minimalism of the V&A, showing how old and new can coexist beautifully. Want an unforgettable view? Climb up the Law, an extinct volcano overlooking the city, where you can capture Dundee's urban evolution against the dramatic Scottish landscape. With its bold architecture, artistic spirit, and striking contrast between history and innovation, Dundee is a hidden gem for architecture lovers craving something unique. From historic wonders to futuristic masterpieces, these cities prove that architecture is more than just buildings. It's art, history, and innovation combined. Which city amazed you the most? Or do you have a favorite that we missed? Let us know in the comments. And if you love exploring stunning architecture and breathtaking cityscapes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content here on DwellScape. See you in the next one. Stay inspired.